Okay, we talked about all of the fun things about your wedding, right? And I always struggle with this talk because I'm always like, okay, well, here comes all the things that can go wrong at your wedding. And how am I going to be protected? So let's talk about wedding insurance. What is it? Why do you need it? My name's Kelly. I used to manage a venue, and I am now an insurance agent, and I run a company called Ventura. And I like to go around and I love teaming up with the Brightside. I love working with this venue. They make it so easy for their couples. So what is wedding insurance? Why do I need it? How do I get it? And what is it going to cost me? So there's two types of wedding insurance. The most important, and the one that venues are going to ask you to purchase, is liability insurance. Do you guys have any idea what this is? Can you guess what it might be or guess what it might cover? What do you think the biggest thing is? Liquor liability. So here you are hosting this fabulous party, and what is kind of in the back of your mind that you really don't want to think about? I'm hosting all of these people. And you want to think to yourself, this is going to go swimmingly. I haven't seen Uncle Joe in a really long time. I'm pretty sure he's going to behave himself, but his girlfriend might not. I haven't met her yet, but I heard all about her. And she's coming to the wedding. So you want to make sure that your guests are protected. So host liquor liability is included with liability insurance it's called special event insurance. That's what you're going to be buying. Host liquor liability is when someone, God forbid, leaves a venue, God forbid, gets into an accident, injures someone else. That injured party can then come back to the couple that hosted that party. So that is not a way to start off your married life. This covers that liability for you. You want to get at least $1 million. Most venues will require $2 million policy. But also, thinking about going back to, Uncle Joe's girlfriend, she decides that she's going to bring a confetti cannon and she's going to shoot it up at the chandelier. And the chandelier falls down on your guests. That's a huge story. Unbelievable, right? Not, it happened. All my stories are true, believe it or not. Yes, this did happen. And the chandelier came down and it did injure people. Those injured people sued everybody in sight, including the bride and groom. So again, liability insurance is covered in this policy. It is considered bodily injury. And the other thing too, looking at this gorgeous venue around you and seeing all of the things, what about let's think of somebody's name. Does anybody have a crazy aunt or uncle that, throw me a name. Karen? Okay, so Karen decides, I don't know why, but she's decided she's going to push a table across the room for posterity. And she thinks she wants to show everybody how strong she is. That's what she's doing. So she's pushing this table across the room, and she's gouging a big line in the hardwood floor or the stamped concrete or whatever your venue has. Well, sorry, folks, but your damage deposit didn't quite cover that. So you don't want to pay for extra damages done by a guest, whether it was on purpose or not. I mean, most things are accidental. Curling irons up in the bridal suite, they accidentally burnt the counter. Somebody spilled red wine on the cute little velvet sofa. Accidents happen. And that's what little damage deposits are for. But when you're talking big accidents, you do not want that bill at the end of your amazing time. So liability insurance covers host liquor, bodily injury, and property damage. There's another kind of insurance. It's a completely different policy, one that I would consider everyone at least consider cancellation insurance. So, okay, I don't know if this is real or not. I kind of think it might be because it was all over the internet. I don't know. But anyway, this guy's running from a tornado. And in this area, unfortunately, it's a real thing. I actually had a wedding 2 Mays ago, tented outdoor wedding. Everybody was at the venue on the Friday night before. The tent was up and the sirens went off, and there was an actual tornado near the Dayton Mall. So this is something to think about. Cancellation insurance covers, there's 2 parts of cancellation insurance. Part A is, oh my gosh, worst case scenario, something major or tragic has happened and I need to cancel or postpone. My fiance got called away to military deployment. That would be this other thing that would be covered would be, okay, I'm being deployed. It wasn't planned, but this is where we have to go. Cancellation insurance, part A is, again, worst case scenario, have to cancel, have to postpone. Parts B through H in the cancellation insurance policy covers all of the things that you might not think about in order to keep that wedding from canceling. So let's say you put $3,000 down on a florist, and that florist has told you all week she'll be there with bells on, she's got it ready for you, I just need the last deposit, you give it to her, she's a no-show. No flowers. Well, cancellation insurance would actually cover the lost deposits that you made to that florist, plus any additional expenses that you had to run out and get to cover what you now are scrambling to try to find for your day. And this actually happened here, and it happened at one of my weddings. This was, I believe, 2021. I think we all know, and we all have an experience with that. And thank goodness that all the venues around here, we kind of worked together, and we were able to get her enough candles and scrounge up enough flowers, and it ended up being beautiful, but she did not have cancellation insurance. So she was out all of that money. And it's just sad, it's tragic. And so think of parts B through H as kind of deposit insurance, if you will. So if a vendor goes out of business, ghosts you like this particular florist did, that would be covered. Another example might be, oh my gosh, the power went out. Well, we're moving forward with this thing, but we need Vandalia Rental to come out, and it's going to be $3,000 for a giant, we're going to need a couple generators back here, but this thing's going on. Cancellation insurance would cover the additional expense in that parts B through H of covering those expensive generators to keep the place going. So another thing to think about. Again, optional. Liability insurance, not optional. Cancellation insurance, always optional. And we can talk about prices, and I brought price lists. And when you buy both, there is a significant discount when you buy both together. So how do I get it? Well, if you've already booked with the Brightside, they actually give you a direct link. It's super easy. It takes about 2 minutes to go ahead and that certificate of insurance automatically goes to the Brightside. You're done. You're part of the bargain. Your part of the contract is good. It will ask you at the end if you want to purchase additional cancellation insurance. That price of that premium will depend upon how much coverage you want. The least expensive policy is $130. That covers up to $7,500 worth of coverage. That's a lot of insurance for the money. So something to think about.